All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Cars, glass, gold, that's what you can expect here. We're gonna make, today it's all about glass. We're gonna make an implosion pendant. So we already got a little bit of prep here, kind of got a little bit of glass. That looks crazy, ignore all of that, but we got a little bit of glass over there flattened on the end, and we got a little bit of prep with some amber purple. This is a color called Double Passion, so we might actually try, we're gonna try and go ahead and go with that one today, but this is a complete freestyle video. I was thinking about going live and doing it like I've been the last couple days, but I wanna actually make a long form style video also, so let's start. Let's get after this. No breaks, no nothing. Whatever happens, happens. Start to finish implosion pendant. We'll back it with some jet black. I just tried teal on this leaf right here, and I really like the way the teal kind of came out. So you know what? Instead of the jet black, we'll back and loop this one in this teal right here, and we'll use the double passion. So this is two new things I haven't done yet. So we'll loop it in the teal, and we'll do the dots with the double passion. And we're gonna lay down the design on this clear glass right here. So it'll be a fun one. This will be a fun one. And leave any questions that you guys might have down below. I'll be going live as much as I can too, and kind of getting into the habit of doing that. I just want to see how the GoPro angle is actually. I've been trying different angles, different cameras, and we're gonna just heat up this little flat piece of glass that I kind of made already a little puck. I just kind of smashed it down, heated up the front and smashed it down earlier, but we're gonna kind of just heat that back up, give it another press down, and start to prepare it to lay down some dots. I used to do these years ago. I've done hundreds of, I don't want to say hundreds of them, but I've done, I mean, probably hundreds of these. So kind of just have some fun with it and see what comes about. Gonna get a little clear and pull some of this double passion. This is a new color that new to me. It's double passion. I haven't used it yet, since this first few sessions, and I've been loving it. So, it's another striking color from Glass Alchemy, which is really cool. So I'm just gonna kind of pull out a little bit of some stringer from it. And we'll use that to lay down the dots. I'll keep it on both sides too, so we could have a little handle of it right there. And then we got a little bit of it right here. Clean up the end of it. There we go. Now we're gonna lower down this flame and start to lay down some dots. I've been noticing on the solid implosions, you don't have to lay down too many dots to get a good design. You just got to kind of make sure you terminate it properly. With that said, I definitely have some designs that have been in my mind that I want to do, so I'm gonna kind of try one out right now. It's another thing, you kind of get some different techniques in and try different things. Kind of did like an X, and then I'm gonna fill in that X right on in each one of those little quadrants that I made with just like a bunch of random dots. So we'll kind of see how that all goes down. I don't want to implode these. I just kind of more so want to melt them into the glass. There we go. Hit it with the paddle, and then we're going to lower that flame again. Okay, that was a complete on-the-fly decision. I just decided, I don't know. It seemed like it wanted to. I laid down 4 dots in each one of those quadrants in kind of a little diamond kind of shape. So that's it. That's going to be the design for this one. Now we're going to kind of start to gently implode it. Like I said, you don't need to lay down too many dots on these solid implosions. It's more so the art, I feel like, is in, again, it's in the design for sure, but it's also in the termination. You get a good termination and just like some really cool effects can happen with that. You get a little twist going when you terminate, all sorts of cool things. So we'll see how this one ends up painting out. And the other thing is I don't really plan it. I see how it ends up forming and then I react accordingly. Whether it's going to be a straight pull-off termination or a twist or whatnot. Now I'm going to get kind of just get this to be a denser bit of a puck without tilting it too much, or else we'll kind of get an air bubble trapped right there at the end, and that's the worst thing possible. So we'll kind of just low and slow and get this to slowly get that clear glass to kind of sort of wrap around those dots that we did and make that design smaller and smaller and smaller. That's what will end up happening. And once they're imploded, you can start to give it a little bit more heat and not worry so much. But you can see there's already kind of like a little divot that happens. And you want to try to avoid that divot closing up on itself and making an air bubble. So we'll just work it nice and slow. Get it to do what we want it to do, not what it wants to kind of do. But there's a little dance there. You let the glass kind of flow and you're just kind of sort of manipulating where it all goes. There we go. There we go. See, so now that all those dots are that whole design now is super small and it's imploded into the glass. At the end of this video too, I'll show you a couple of the other pendants I made in the last few sessions. Similar style, I'm just kind of working on my implosions and getting in some reps. Love, love, love making these. I truly actually enjoy making them. And I don't mind even when a couple little bubbles get trapped towards the front of the implosion design. I think that looks really cool. You just don't want to get one right at the center tip because that one can just look really ugly. But if there's a few floating like above the design, I actually really I like those a lot, so I'm okay with those for sure. I could see 1 or 2 that are kind of sort of at the tops of the design, and I think those are going to actually end up looking really cool at the end of this. All right, so now I need to kind of get in here and make a tool on the fly. I want to save that. So we want to terminate now. So let's heat up a little bit of glass here, and I'm going to make a little tool out of glass that I can use to tear off and terminate that design so it all will wrap up into one little point there at the center. Just using a graphite paddle to kind of sort of make a little glass tool here. Now the thing with this is you want to make sure you get all of those dots and all of those that entire design to terminate into the one point. Just gonna kind of All right, I think we got them. Sometimes it's just so hard to see, and you don't even see that you didn't terminate them all until the end, but they all have their own beauty. Even if they all don't terminate into the center point, it'll still kind of look cool. So I'm gonna go in with the paddle and just kind of flatten this back part out before I add some color back there. I think we decided we're gonna go with that teal. Yeah, it's so hard to see. We cannot see that design. So we're just gonna have to trust our intuition there. We're gonna go in now with that teal. I'll clean up the end of this teal just a bit. Don't wanna have any of the scuzz or bubbles or anything that are there at the end. Little clean piece of the teal, and then we're going to get the teal now backed up onto this piece, and that'll help to bring out the design also. Shouldn't get them both decently hot. And I think we got it all terminated. Again, nonetheless, even if we didn't, I think it'll be a good, make for a good video. So we're just gonna kind of roll with it. We're not gonna terminate anymore. Although if I did have a lot of doubt, I'd go in and kind of do another termination point, but I think this one will look cool either way. So we're just gonna kind of roll with it, and we're gonna get this teal now back on the back of this piece. There we go, got the teal back on there. Now we're gonna remove this teal out of here. We're gonna use this as the loop, so we'll take the time while it's hot to clean that up so we could use it later. And then set that aside so we don't have to do that later. Now I'm gonna remove a little bit of that teal, and then we're gonna work that backing into this piece. And that's water, if any of you guys are wondering. Just a mason jar of water. So that's how glass artists add a little color to the back of pendants, if you've ever wondered. It was that step right there. Now we're just gonna slowly melt that color back onto this piece so it's all one nice fluid piece. And we won't really see the implosion design until we get it off of this handle here, and so that won't be for a little while. But we'll get there. We'll have a nice reveal and see kind of what we did. Got one hand in this whole thing, huh? Let's show you guys a little action there. I'm gonna hit it with the paddle first. Go back in the flame, and then we'll hit it. We'll give it a little bit of a press down. There we go. That usually does it, and then I'll just make sure everything's kosher with the paddle. Got a little clear rod right here. I've been using as my punny to back up on my pieces lately. I've just been leaving it there. And we're gonna straighten that up right here a bit. We call this a punty, so I'm gonna punny up to the back of this piece now, and then we'll get it off the rod. And then we'll finally get to see, that'll be the first time we get to kind of see what our design turned out to be. And this was just a chaotic kind of random, oh, I didn't get that where I wanted it. Let's get that off. Oh, see, real time. You're gonna see some real time mistake. I didn't get that, didn't get that where I wanted it. So now we gotta get in there and clean that up. All right, now I gotta go in there, you gotta clean it up, and then you gotta hit it with the paddle again, and then you gotta do the step over. Okay, now we'll get in here and try that again. Maybe not talk this time while we're punting up to the back of the piece. This is an important one. You want to try to get it in the center, or else it just throws everything off and you just spend all that time doing the piece. So it's one that you want to try to get as good as you can. That was decent. As long as when you get it on there and you look at the right side piece where your pendant is, and it doesn't look too wonky, you think you can work with it, then you're good. You can get it off. So this one was not perfect again, but I could work with it, so we'll be all right. It's a decent one. And that just takes practice. That's like a repetition thing. And I'm kind of still dusting off all my skills, so. There we go. Get this off. Set that aside. Now we start to clean this up and we'll be able to see what we got. Then we'll put that teal loop on it, and we're nearing the finish line, ladies and gents. I like to make sure I remove enough of the glass off the lens before I really just start to work it in the flame and not have to remove any glass anymore. It's just more a matter of working it and shaping it in the flame. And that's exactly where I wanted it, so we're done there. Now I'll start to work that lens back, and then we'll be able to finally take a look and see what our design kind of panned out. I can start to see it right now. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a star explosion or something. That's kind of what I always say. These end up looking like something galactic, or sometimes they'll end up looking like a flower, but they're always really, really cool. I made one the other day. I thought it was a complete dud, and it ended up looking like a really cool galaxy, so. Just gonna flame polish that front lens and make sure we spin it properly to make sure we get that glass on the front to flow where we want. And that's where getting that on the center axis really helps, but if not, you just gotta slow it down and then speed it up at certain points. But over practice, you'll learn that. I've been doing this for 10 years on and off, so kind of learned some of those things. It's just a matter of getting the muscle memory back. See what we got. Let's wait for it to cool down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's chaotic. It looks chaotic. I don't know how well it's gonna come off on camera, but I'll definitely have some good B-roll shots of it once it's all finished up. Tomorrow I'll come back early in the morning and we'll get it out of the kiln and we'll get some good shots of it. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool. We added, it's like a cool twist design. Very unique. It's a cool, unique design for sure. Definitely something cool and fun to experiment with, right? So then the next part is you want to see where on that design, where it would look best with a a loop, like where you want it all hanging down from, right? And also at this point, you can punty up to the top of it and you can get one of those droop kind of diamond designs that you see in pendants, but I like circular personally. I do sometimes do a drip one. Not a drip one, kind of just where the pendant itself is in a like a diamond shape. I love doing drip pendants. All right, I know exactly where I want to loop this up at. Yeah, it looks like some sort of galaxy or something. It's trippy looking. And obviously we got to throw it in the kiln. This is a striking color, so it might change still a little bit in the kiln overnight. But nonetheless, it looks sweet. It's very cool. I was glad I'm able to do it start to finish here on the channel for you guys. Even going live, I'm doing stuff just straight live. Like we're going start to finish on pieces. Whatever happens, happens. Okay, we got that piece of teal on there now. Now I'm gonna clean up that teal and make it the length and kind of width that I want it to before I shape it into the loop. All right, there we go. Gonna have to empty out my mason jar soon. Loops took years to learn, years to get into, and still sometimes I mess them up. Let's hopefully we don't mess this one up, but yeah, loops are hard. They take a long time. So if you're like a beginner glass blower, don't worry. Took everybody a long time to get their loops down. You want to kind of sort of pull it forward and then up and over while it's all nice and hot. One nice fluid motion. And then make sure it's all nice and straight before you tack it on in the back there. And it's a tough one. Even now when I do it, I remember the days when I couldn't do that, and I understand the learning curve. So if you're a beginner, even I'm not an expert glass blower by any means, but I've been doing it long enough to where I kind of know a little bit about everything in the world of glass blowing. So I've seen a lot of stuff. So understand what it's like for the beginners, man. It's tough. I feel like I'm a beginner again since I just started again. So it is definitely hard to get going again. All right, we got it tacked on the back, and then we went in with the mini torch and made sure that all those connections were nice and fluid. Now we're gonna go in with the tweezers and just kind of do some shaping here, and then we're gonna go in with the graphite reamer and clean everything up inside that loop. So it gives the glass loops a nice, perfect circle, and there we go. Almost done here. Yeah, this looks cool. It's kind of got like a flower galaxy vibe going on, and I think it's going to change in the kiln a little bit, so I don't want to call it just yet. But it is definitely cool. It's a keeper. Just go in and clean up any tool marks here. Looks good to me. Now the finale. Put a little coffee in us. Before the finale, now we got to get this off. It's really easy. Again, this used to take me forever. It used to be a very difficult part back in the day, but there you have it. One nice fluid motion. Heat that punny handle up just a bit, a nice little tap, and we'll get it off, and then you go in with the mini torch. I mean, in the past, I would do that, and half of the design would come off with the punny, and it's like, oh my goodness, all that time, and it's just down the drain now. I guess that's learning. There we go. Now I'll go in with the paddle. And there she is, ladies and gents. All done. Just gonna heat this up just a little bit. We're gonna stick it in the kiln, and she survived. Check it out. I'll get some B-roll of it tomorrow morning. We'll come back, we'll get it out of the kiln, but there she is, start to finish. Implosion Pendant. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like gold, glass, and cars. That's what we're going to kind of have on this channel, and the random adventure here and there. And we're just going to have some fun, guys, and I appreciate all you guys for sticking around. Much love, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya. I almost forgot, guys. Here are some of the pendants from the last couple sessions. Pretty sweet. I like this one. Check this one out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Pretty cool. They're all really sweet. This one's, I mean, they're all really cool, guys. Look at this. What a beauty. Again, I'll get some nice B-roll shots of this, some nice slow-mo close-ups. This one's super cool, too. This is a design I made up on the fly, and I really like the way it turned out. But yeah, there you have it. A couple of these little, I used to call some of them sea anemone pendants back in the day, because they remind me of something from the ocean, and some of them remind me of something like from straight out of space. But there you have it. Anyways, catch you on the next one.